Shout out to the Super Eagles. What a wonderful win. Firstly, how nice is it to watch Nigeria and not have to panic? You just watch a match where, as a big boy country, you just deliver what you need to do. You get a routine 2-0 win away from home, and you just done and dust the game. Like, the game was a procession pretty much for the last 40 minutes. So shout out to Coach Eric Sekoshel and the team. So, who's ended up starting the game? I mean, we're not too far off. I think the main thing I got wrong in terms of my starting lineup is I did not foresee Bright Samuel starting, and I did not know that the coach will end up playing both Chukwueze and Moses Simon. I thought one of them would play, but Eric Segochel got his tactics spot on. Very, very attacking formation. We had a back four and goalkeeping. Nabali was in goal. Ekong and Basi started as expected. Ola Aina started as expected, but he started as left back rather than right back. And then we saw Bright Samuel come in to start at right back, Bruno Yemachi starting off the bench. We had a midfield pairing of Wilfred Ndidi and Alex Iwobi, and then we literally went all gongo attack. Chukwueze started the game, Lookman played the game, Moses Simon played the game, and Osimhen played the game. In fact, when you look at the way we played, you could almost say it was a bit of a 4-1-2-1-2 formation. But there was definitely a lot of rotation going on, especially in the front line behind Osimhen. Lookman, Simon, Chukwueze took up positions both on the width of the pitch, but at certain points they were also in the middle of the pitch, especially Lookman and Simon. And I thought we did an excellent job in this game of winning. So shout out to all the players. My score prediction was 3-1 for Nigeria, so I wasn't too far off. It ended up being 2-0 and we kept a clean sheet. So shout out to the defense and Nwabali. In reality, we didn't really get threatened at all in this game, which was interesting to see. But just to recap the starting lineup again, it was Nwabali, Osai Samuel, Chustekong, Basi, Aino, Wilfred Ndidi, Chukwueze, Simon, Alex Wobi, Ademola Lookman, and Victor Osimhen. Just in case anyone did not get that the first time. Our updated group standings means that after beating Rwanda, we're now fourth on the table with 6 points after 5 games, and that was our first win of the qualifying round. Rwanda lost, so they remain third with 7 points. Benin drew their game at home to Zimbabwe. Was he away? Away to Zimbabwe, sorry. 2-2. So Benin move up to 8 points and are second. And South Africa dispatched Lesotho 2-0, which we pretty much expected to go to top of the group with 10 points. So healthier position, but of course the job's not finished. We need to make sure that we beat Zimbabwe on Tuesday, because that would make us look in a bit more of a healthy position, especially with the top two in the group playing each other on Tuesday. So Benin Republic hosts South Africa on Tuesday. So fingers crossed we'll get a draw, but we need the South Africans to start dropping points as soon as possible. How did the game go? To be fair, this game was one-way traffic the whole match. I thought it was a very commanding display from the Super Eagles. Very, very professional. We literally camped in Rwanda's half for majority of the game. We dominated them with chances. Chance creation, people might complain that we did not get enough chance creation, but you get a lot of chances by pressing. This is one of the best, if not the best, pressing performance I can remember watching the national team in a long time. Yes, at AFCON we saw good spirits of pressing, especially from Lookman and Osimhen. But yesterday felt like a very concerted effort from the whole team, and it led to so many chances. In fact, if we're more clinical, this could have been 4-0, 5-0 by halftime. We were that impressive. So Osimhen scored an early goal. Initially, he got manhandled in the first minute, and we thought he might have an injury, but there was nothing to worry about then. And then one of the key things that allowed us to win this game easily was we scored a very early goal. So in the 11th minute, we had a free kick, an indirect free kick taken by Ademola Lookman. That's another thing I noticed. Lookman took all of our set pieces, so it's clearly designated by Eric Chell. And he floated in a cross, fantastic cross, literally for Osimhen to volley it one time into the back of the net. The defending from Rwanda was very, very suspect. I don't know how you leave Osimhen that free. Star player, star striker. And literally, Ekong and Osimhen were both free. So he missed Ekong, but he landed perfectly to Osimhen, who used his right foot to volley it into the back of the net. And that pretty much settled the nerves and just allowed the team to go into the game and play our game. We had quite a few chances. Osimhen had a cross that nearly resulted in an own goal because Moses Simon was pressuring the defender, Motsini. Lookman had a corner that found Ekong. Our set pieces were really good in this game as well. Ekong had a few headers that headed wide. Osimhen had one that headed wide here or there. we did have a big save from Ntwari, who denied Moses Simon. Moses Simon, this is another chance we got after pressing them. Osimhen literally pressed, won the ball, played to Lookman. Lookman slipped in Moses Simon, and Moses Simon tried a Thierry Henry-esque shot, but Ntwari made a very, very good save. Rwanda did not really do much in the first half, to the point that they even had a player substituted in 38 minutes. Maybe it was injury, but the way the guy jogged off the pitch, it didn't really look like it was injury that led to that. Rwanda ended up having their first corner in the 44th minute after a strange header by Ola. No, he was not under pressure, but he just panicked slightly and headed the ball out for a corner. But we didn't even see any problems from that. And then guess what? Just before halftime, Osimhen led to an error. Long ball from Nabali. Osimhen initially headed the ball and he went back, and then the ball then bounced forward, and the Rwanda centre back committed himself a bit too keenly, because Rwanda pushed up the pitch. They were trying to see if they could get some kind of score, which is what I love the most about this Super Eagles performance. We showed that we could score by set pieces, we showed we could score by the counter attack, and our chance creation was also not too bad. So honestly, just a fantastic performance. But anyway, as the Rwanda centre back tried to commit towards the ball, Osimhen's pace and just guile just won the ball ahead of him, and Osimhen all of a sudden had a lot of green grass to run into. He literally took three touches of the ball while striding towards the goal. 1, 2, literally from the right hand side of the penalty box, and then just before the goalkeeper was coming in to the Russian goalkeeper, he just chipped the goalkeeper, and next thing you know, it was 2-0 for Nigeria, and we're literally on our way. So that was Osimhen's 25th goal for the Nigerian national team, which makes him the outright second top goal scorer for the national team. Shego Degwami has 23 goals, but Osimhen's brace took him to 25 goals in just 39 appearances. So is a matter of when rather than if for Osimhen to break the great Yashidi Rekini's goal scoring record. That is why it's even more imperative that we make the World Cup, because the greats that we're mentioning, they all played in the World Cup. Odegbami did not, but the Ekinis of the world did. The 90s generation all did. So Victor Osimhen has to make it by God's grace. So honestly, halftime 2-0, very routine win so far. The second half was a lot more slow, and it was a textbook example of how you control a tie that you're winning when you're the big team, especially away from home. Nigeria did not want a situation where Rwanda got an early goal in the first 20 minutes of the second half. So we just stifled them. It was just control possession. You could tell we didn't really try to score another goal, because when you have a 2-goal lead, you're pretty much cruising. There are a few chances here or there. Osai Samuel forced a save from Ntwari. Lookman had a free kick here or there, but we started to roll in the changes from the 67th minute with Oyedika and Oyemachi coming on to replace Ola Aino and Chukwueze. Osimhen did miss a chance in the 75th minute for a hat-trick, but he pretty much won the ball himself, and he was just a bit off balance and shot wide with his right foot. After that, we just controlled possession for the last 10 minutes, conserving energy, making sure we don't give any counter-attacks to the Rwandans. They must have been so frustrated. Honestly, it was such a mature performance from the Super Eagles. So that was it for us. And full-time results: Nigeria 2, Rwanda 0. Osimhen 2 goals, and we're on our moving. So as I've already said with the positives, this was a very controlled, positive performance from a dominant team, showing a team that they have more quality than that they're really boss, but taking chances, really just playing professionally. You can't really fault any player. I think everybody played well to an extent in this game, to be honest. We kept a clean sheet. That's always a positive and amazing to see. So shout out to the back line and the whole team, because they pressed from the front. We dominated the game and saw it out so easily. Honestly, it was so nice to watch in Nigeria without panicking. At a point, I was even slightly bored. That's how comfortable we were. And that's how we should be when we're playing every team in this group, not named South Africa, with all due respect to the opponents that we have for World Cup qualifying. I mean, the two back-to-back African footballers of the year were outstanding: Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman. Lookman did not score, but he ran them ragged. Yes, there was one chance where you could say it was a bit selfish and he shot the ball. He could have been more clinical, but him and Osimhen were devastating. They showed why they're cut above a lot of players in the African continent. Victor Osimhen, what more can we say? What other superlatives can we draw for this player? He plays for Nigeria with his heart and soul, and he just dominates. Like, Osimhen is just that guy. Like, there's nothing else we can even add or say about this man. So God bless you, Victor Osimhen. I thought we were fantastic on set pieces. You could tell that they worked on certain drills, both attacking and defensively, because there was definitely some cohesion in the way we took our set pieces, which was fantastic to see. A lot of our corner kicks hit a Nigerian man on the head. for just better finishing. Ekong even had one header that just went wide in the first half as well. We could have easily scored 2 or 3 from set pieces in this game, but we managed to get one. So shout out to that. We also saw pretty solid displays from our defensive line. I thought the defense was really good. Ekong and Bassi. I thought Wilfred Ndidi controlled the game very well as well. Forget all that gidigbo pace and power. Do you have the smarts to literally know the right time to intervene, the right time to make a clearance or an interception, or to just slow the game down and just play, in a very comfortable way? So that was fantastic to see. I thought the Rwandans were very naive in the way they allowed us to dominate the midfield. They left us so many spaces to pass the ball in the central area of the park, so we're able to build our attacks. I don't know if it's naivety or just tiredness or the fact that our players are just superior, but that was a bit interesting from them. Only negatives I would say is a lot of the subs, I don't really think they did much, but it seemed like it was also instruction. Every time Arako Dari got the ball, he looked like he had instructions from Eric Chell to slow the game down and to try to pass the ball in between to the back line, basically, so that we could just maintain possession and control over the game. So I don't know if we could call that necessarily a negative. Obviously, Alassane Yusuf, our right back, he was not very good. He was shaky a few times, gave away the ball a few times. But we have to caveat that right back is not his position. That's the mistake you make when you only call up 3 fullbacks, and then you play Aino at left back. If he started with Onyemachi and then Aino at right back, then maybe he could have brought Osai Samuel on to play right back instead. Because you also have Calvin Bassi, who could then deputize as a left back, and then maybe you could have brought Igor Ugbo. But look, we're not in the business of criticizing coaches who know what they're doing. And yes, it's just one game, but so far so good. And we move and we take the positives from there. I also thought we got a few cheap yellow cards here and there. I remember Ndidi, getting caught one time. Just, could you say lack of concentration? It was just unlucky, man. But we got 1 or 2 yellow cards that were a bit interesting. But overall, fantastic performance from the Super Eagles. We're back on track. Make no mistake about it. We dominated the game, but we have to keep the momentum. This result means nothing if we don't beat Zimbabwe on Tuesday. So looking forward to that game, and hopefully the team could end this international break with 6 points, and we'll be feeling a lot more confident about ourselves going into the June friendlies, and then ultimately the next set of qualifiers, which will be happening in September, where the likes of Lukman and Osimhen will probably have even made moves to better teams, and we could see some movement around our team, maybe even call up certain players. So fantastic news. Fantastic performance. Rwanda, shout out to you. Your stadium looks magnificent. Your country looks magnificent even on TV. You can see the walk-ins. It's not like Nigeria that they don't want us to criticize the government, but we're not seeing any walk-ins. The only thing they've done in a year is change the national anthem that nobody knows. So anyway, shout out to Rwanda. Great hosts. And shout out to the Super Eagles of Nigeria.